our new Elastic Grip stay plates. The acrylic comes in clear, pink, and Meharry. Right now I'm going to demonstrate how to do a 1-2 stay plate. Go ahead and get your master model. It's not necessary to make a duplicate, and you'll see why in a minute. So what I do usually is I'll paint this out. Like if you're doing a flexible, this is where the flexible class is going. Usually what you'll do is carve the pole snap. I'm not going to carve it today. But then we take our sprue wax that we have. Let me put my glasses on here. And then we form it with the dry model. We'll place the wax around the line. To make it easier for the acrylic. Once you place the wax here, you can go ahead and form it roughly to the line. And this wax is pretty sticky, so you don't have to heat it up. Makes it easy to work with. So you want to do it about like this. Get it ready. Then what you want to do is, I've already carved the tooth in, but you want to carve the tooth in, actually before you put the wax. Have it ready to go. Then you want to place this in regular tap water for about 5 minutes. Go ahead and remove from water. And carefully go ahead and blow. So you go ahead and just paint your separator. Denture separator works fine. Okay. While the separator is drying, it's a good time to start your mixture of your acrylic. You go ahead and pull out what you're going to need. This is our standard pink. We do have measurements for this. I eyeball it, but we do have a measurement. This is our monomer. Okay, so we're ready now. This is basically how it's supposed to look. You can dampen down a little bit if you need to. Just a little bit. As you see, it's very easy to work with. What I'll do is go ahead and place it where that wax is. You kind of just smash it down right where that wax, and it'll automatically form to that wax. You put a little bit of liquid here just to make it easier to flow. And you can go ahead, put a little bit of liquid on the tooth, and place the tooth just like that. So you have time to work with this. Whether you're sitting 1 or 2 or 3 teeth, you have plenty of time to work with. Okay, and after 15-20 minutes, go ahead and release the air from the pressure valve. Remove partial. Now you're ready to place it in your boil out tank. I do not have a boil out tank, but I have water that's very hot right now. You want to go ahead and place it in the boil out tank to remove all the wax. To remove all the wax from the model. Place it in water for about a minute or 2. Go ahead, and this is why I was saying you don't need a duplicate model, but this should come right off the model, just like that. And you can see now, it's much easier to know where to trim down and make it a lot easier. And while it's hot, it actually, you can bend the clasp in and out. And the thinner the pellet is, you'll be able to move it around. I'll show you a little bit here of how flexible this can be. Just like that. And once it goes back on the model and cools down, it'll get hard like acrylic. I have one that I'll show you now that it's finished. But this actually, this is the same type of partial that we did. It's finished except not polished. But as you can see, it's very rigid. Clasps are rigid, very rigid. But once you place, or the doctor can actually place a portion of the partial into water and bend the clasp in to tighten it up. But I'll show you how flexible this is when you place in water for probably about 30 seconds. The longer you leave it, the rubberier it gets. Pull it out, and you can see how the partial will bend completely. Place it back on the model, and it adapts perfectly there. When it cools, it will get hard like acrylic.